So here we are in the tomato polytunnel. We were just discussing about the seasonality of tomatoes and the fact in Ireland we think that they're in season all year long as well. Can you tell us a bit about what is the season of tomatoes and what is the trick to keeping them so beautiful looking? Green?
Food,
Ah.
good soil, as you can see here. We have endless depth of topsoil. So there's 25 years of using compost and farmyard manures. So the tomatoes are very heavy feeders. They need food all the time, they need water all the time, not too much, and they need the right temperatures. Again, you can see we have the ventilation open here, always lots of air running through. So no pesticides, no fungicides, just using the strength of the good nutrition from the soil. It's like if you eat properly, you're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing with tomatoes. Then we de-leaf like this, coming up as the plant grows, again to keep air movement and light. As you see here, the first trusses are beginning to ripen,
Wow.
and these will ripen on down, and then we'll cut them like that and then send them to your shop.
Because a lot of people don't know that it's a fruit, and people have been eating them for generations. And we had stories of people coming in, our elderly customers saying that that's what their childhood tasted like.
Yes.
It's actually soil grown from. So
Yeah, because the majority, well, it's non-organic tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers are all not grown in soil, which is a very sad truth. They're grown in this medium called rockwool, which is like attic insulation, and then each plant has a tube that feeds it chemicals, and from that they put the fungicide, the nutrition, and even colorant
wow.
into the fruit. So you know, you go to the supermarket and you get these rock hard tomatoes, and they stay the same color in the fridge for 6 weeks. You know, they could be radiated but colored as well, so they can regulate color and ripening. So rather than me waiting another 3 weeks for this to become ripe, I could, as that conventional grower, I can make that ripe now, send it off, and it'll be flavorless.
And we mentioned before too that some of the major multiples were sending you color charts, that
Yes.
the tomatoes had to be a certain color by delivery on a Saturday.
I'll pick that up with you in the cherry tomato house.
Cool, let's
because
go have a
I'll
look
show
there.
you the difference, because you have the different colours of ripeness there, and we'll have a look.
What variety of tomatoes are these?
These are Bugatti.
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 Boppity boopy.
If I'm picking for the organic supermarket, I will pick like this, and I'll put them into a punnet,
Okay.
and I'll go through the house like that.
So there's different colours, different readiness, but they're all ready to go by the
4
time we get
different
them onto the
colours.
shelves.
When I used to deal with the multiple supermarkets, I was given a colour chart,
Okay.
and Tuesdays was this. So, for instance, the logistics of that is I'm going along here now, and I've got my punnets in the picking tray, and I don't bring a dog with me, and I'll be going here one, that one. So they can all go together, but that can't go in now.
It's such a shame
That's Wednesday's colour.
yeah.
And then at the weekend they want something in between that if it doesn't sell, it still can hang around the shop on a Sunday, and then, you know, it's...
So they
That's
should be
all
just
nonsense.
enjoyed when they're ready, and that's it. There shouldn't really be a colour.
Now at certain times of year with the high light levels you get a lot of ripening,
Mm-hmm.
and I might only have that colour. And in the past I would be sent back with pallets of tomatoes that size, or that colour, because they were the wrong colour for Tuesday.
A bit shocking.
But but you can't blame again why the other growers have that regulation system with the chemical. They can retard growth, they can accelerate growth, they can manipulate colour,
Mm-hmm.
and you know it's a disgusting way to produce food. But you know, thankfully there are organic standards, and that's what they're there for. You know?
Tell us a little bit of the difference between the tomato tunnel, the big tomatoes, and what we call cherry tomatoes.
So as you can see, they're a lot smaller. They are...
Tastier. Nom nom nom.
Now you haven't tasted the other ones yet. The other ones are phenomenal flavour, but it's just a different tomato. These have a lot of sweetness.
It's nearly sweeter than a strawberry. It's delicious.
And then you get the acidity. Afterwards, there's kind of an aftertaste of acidity. So
So delicious. You can't really get fresher than eating off the vine.
Or sun warmed. I love them when they're sun warmed. And again, keep your tomatoes out of the fridge. The fridge kills the sugar, kills the whole, you know, even when a tomato is picked, when it's picked healthy and it's still got its green on it, it's still alive and it's still ripening. As soon as they go into a fridge below 4 or 5 degrees, the whole process stops and it dies.
Okay.
So
Good tip. Turn on the fridge.
tomatoes, cucumbers, any of those plants that hate cold, they don't like the fridge, but it ruins the flavour as well.
It's so good to taste flavour of tomatoes, because so many of the tomatoes we get are bland and they're water based. Like, that is juicy. It's a fruit. It's a treat. It could be a treat for a kid's lunchbox as opposed to just putting it into a salad.
We had so many kids coming here on school tours. We do school tours, and the kids go, "I don't like tomatoes," and they eat that and they can't stop.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, of course, there's a novelty that they're picking their own and they're trying. But then, you know, like I said, you got the sun warmth. It's like a sun warmed strawberry as well. You know, a lot of people may not get that opportunity, but at the same time, you know, to be able to buy unmanipulated food that hasn't been chilled down and processed and hydro cooled and all those things, is to get a fresh produce, and that's why we deliver 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So
Keeps
every
it fresh.
2 days you have a delivery. You know,
And it's good to see where the actual produce that we're putting and we're sending across Ireland at the moment in internet boxes and deliveries, this is where it's grown. Like, this is as pure as it gets, and it's just great to like meet the man that grows your food, and that's why we're down with Mark today as well.